Hello, hello. Welcome to the World Cup analysis here on Falso Nueve TV. Mbappé broke a world record, reached 14 goals, France won, and on their debut, they seemed to impress. We're analyzing what happened in France versus Senegal. Let's get started. Well, general opinions about the match. I'm going to focus exclusively on France because honestly, there's a lot to talk about regarding France. The first half was very dull. Didier Deschamps' team really struggled to create and generate play. Senegal's first half was very neat. It was very good and organized. There weren't many exciting moments, not many chances, not many shots on goal. But Papetia's team had a very good first half. So much so that the score was 0-0 and everything happened in the second half. The second half was a different game. There were really two different matches, the first half and the second half. They played completely differently, or rather, France played completely differently in both halves of the 45 minutes. We obviously have to talk about Didier Deschamps' influence because he did very well. When the coach made changes, that's when the team started playing better. That's how both France and Senegal played, with France using a 4-2-3-1 formation. Here it also shows a 4-2-3-1 because it was corrected later. But initially Senegal's setup was a 4-3. But if you want, let's go to the board. Let's go straight to the board so you can see. And also understand a little bit of what France played this afternoon. So here it is. I already have the 4-3-1 of both teams drawn. And in the first half, what happened was that the Senegal team would fall back into a mid-low block, a mid-low defensive block, and the defense was 4-3, a very compact, well-coordinated team. They're the ones in white, the Senegal team. When France attacks, they move their lines closer to form what seems like a line of 5, but it's actually a line of 3. France wanted was to have a very compact block. And in the first half, something happened. And that is that France was waiting, or Deschamps' plan was for Dembélé to join in and provide width on the wings with Doué and Doué. And that Mbappé in the individual duels with Koulibaly and Niakate would get behind them or go straight for goal one-on-one. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. When France had the ball, the team would drop back and try to crowd the midfield. Tchouaméni acted as a third centre-back. Both Koundé and Theo Hernandez pushed forward much more so that Olis could attack this flank and so that Doué could also attack this flank. What happened? Both Olis and Doué were very static. They were very static. They had the ball and that made it difficult. And both Diouf's area and Diatta's area were very well covered because of the lack of movement that both Doué and Olis showed in the first half. In the second half, something completely different happened. Dembélé moved to the wing and Olis moved to midfield to create and organize. It was the same. It worked the same way. The fullbacks advanced while Tchouaméni became a third centre-back to aid the build-up. Upamecano had more responsibility as the last centre-back, handling one-on-one duels when Jackson pushed forward or when Mané made a run. Very good. A very good match from Upamecano. A very good second half overall from the whole French team. But in the second half, Upamecano stood out with a very good second half and a very good match. And Olis, guided by Cham, started distributing the ball. That's how the first goal came about. The lines were pushed a bit forward and Mbappé surprised everyone by using the central lane. This one right here. The central lane to score the goal, to score against Mendy. The same thing happened with Barcola, who came on in the second half. Mbappé, who was making the move to this side to distract Koulibaly's marking, takes him with him. And Barcola appears in this area, surprising along the same lane. So that, in this case, Rabiot, who was alternating with Olis, provided the assist along the same lane where Olis scored the goal. There was a gap between Niakate and Koulibaly because of the movement of their forwards. That's what made all of this happen. Because sometimes, with Doué, with Barcola, alternating with Mbappé. You know that, at times, he would stick close to the wing in order to finish. So that's how France debuted with a victory, even though there was a lot of speculation in the first half. At least I was saying that maybe France wasn't delivering and that it was really hard for the European teams. It's tough for the European teams. But in the second half, along with Deschamps, who also did his part, and the players put on a show in the second half. And so France leaves their first match, winning 3-1 against Senegal and leaving a very, very good impression. If you like this World Cup analysis, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And so you can stay up to date with everything happening on our channel, Falso 9 TV. We broadcast all the World Cup matches, every single World Cup match. Subscribe below to watch all World Cup matches on Falso 9 TV. See you next time, very soon. Bye.